He's fought some good strikers, but do you think your power is like the X factor here that maybe he hasn't dealt with some of these other guys?
Yeah, I think I've got more precision.
I'm going to go in there. I'm going to outbox Jack. I'm not going to shoot one takedown. And I'm going to show him the meaning of Canelo hands. I'm going to show the UFC fighters, the fans, that I'm the best boxer in the UFC, the best boxer in the welterweight division.
The keys to victory for a guy like JDM.
He's just got to mix it up. When I say mix it up, I don't mean shooting him for takedowns. I mean, he's got to go forward and he's got to mix up his strikes. That's the one thing that I like about this guy. He's so relaxed. He sees the pressure come. He's able to sidestep or just kind of relax in there. In fights like the Gilbert Burns fight, Gilbert was winning that fight. Gilbert was taking him down, controlling him, but he never stopped trying. When he got up to his feet, he was able to land certain things to try to make him pay.
If I had to put money on it, I'd probably favour JDM.
Oh, yeah.
If I had to put money on it. Yeah, if I had to put money on it, I feel like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. 50-50. I'm putting money on none of them.
The welterweight division is set for a major shakeup as champion Belal Muhammad prepares to defend his title against rising star Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315 on May 10th. While the division is packed with big names, Belal believes Jack is a truly deserving contender. Muhammad has voiced his full support for the UFC's decision, saying the matchup aligns perfectly with his goal as champion, to face the best. With Della Maddalena riding the longest win streak in the division and coming off a huge win over Gilbert Burns, Belal felt the fight made perfect sense. He also noted that several other contenders are coming off losses and emphasized that he's always been ready to fight anyone, anytime. In his eyes, the UFC simply fast-tracked a matchup that was bound to happen sooner or later.
Was there any talk of anyone else, or did you feel like they made the right call here?
I think they made the right call. When you're looking at the landscape of the division, he has the longest winning streak, and he came off a big win against Gilbert Burns. And when I'm looking at everybody else, like Usman's on a losing streak, Buckley had a good streak going, but I just think that JDM's probably a little bit ahead of him with the level of opponent that he just fought. But like I said, for me as a champion, you got to take on anybody. You want to fight anybody. I'm going to fight the best. So I figured he would be the next in line if he beat Leon. So we just shortcutted it and we got it first.
Belal Muhammad says he wants to be the kind of champion who earns respect by taking on the toughest challengers, not just the most popular names or biggest paydays. Reflecting on how previous champions overlooked his own long winning streak, Belal pointed out that fighters like Leon Edwards never gave him a shot. Now that he holds the spotlight, he's committed to giving deserving contenders their opportunity, including Jack Della Maddalena. Even though JDM isn't known for being a loud self-promoter, Belal says he respects his skills and sees him as the best available challenger. And that, according to Belal, is exactly the kind of opponent a real champion should face.
I want to be that champion that doesn't sit there and pick, oh, this is the biggest fight, let me get that one, or this guy has more followers than that guy. No, I want to all right, who's the guy with the biggest streak? Because I never got that chance, right? The champions before me, I had a long streak forever. Usman never looked my way. Leon never looked my way, and he tried to avoid me. But for me, for even a guy like Jack, he's not a big talker, right? So he wasn't going to sit there and beg for it or anything like that. So I'm giving him this opportunity because that's the type of champion I want to be that I am. I want to fight the best guys that they have in the division, and I think right now with everybody else, he's the best.
Jack Della Maddalena believes he can submit Belal Muhammad while he acknowledges Belal's well-rounded skill set and grappling heavy approach. JDM feels confident in his striking and believes his underrated grappling could surprise Belal. He even suggested that if Belal tries to smother him on the ground, he might catch him with a submission.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty well-rounded, but I think his big key to victory is like always trying to implement his wrestling, try and strike, and then if he has got the upper hand, or if he believes he's got the upper hand in the grappling, he'll push for that. He's able to hold people down. But yeah, I definitely feel like I've got the better striking. I do think I've got some good grappling that he might be not prepared for. So I might try and be able to pull out like a submission at some point if he lays on me for too long.
Belal Muhammad is confident he'll deliver a striking masterclass against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315. He boldly declared that he won't attempt a single takedown during the fight. Instead, he plans to outbox Jack and showcase what he calls his Canelo hands. Belal is determined to prove that he's the best pure boxer in the UFC's welterweight division.
And I'm going to show him the meaning of Canelo hands. I'm going to show the UFC fighters, the fans, that I'm the best boxer in the UFC, the best boxer in the welterweight division. Trust me, you guys want to tune in. Don't miss it.
Belal Muhammad explained that his approach to fighting is centered on constant evolution and adaptability. Instead of forcing opponents to adjust to him, he focuses on improving after every fight by refining the small details and returning as a better version of himself each time. He highlighted his well-rounded skill set, striking, grappling, and wrestling, which allows him to craft a game plan tailored to each opponent. Unlike many fighters who depend on a single style, Belal emphasized that he has the ability to dictate where the fight takes place, whether it's standing or on the ground.
I think a lot of these guys, they have to make the adjustment to me. When I go into fights, it's let me look at my last fight and fix little things. Let me evolve. Let me show a different version of myself. It's always trying to be a better version of myself. So I like watch all these guys. My coach will break a strategy down of what they do well, and we'll be like, all right, well, we'll do that with this guy. We'll do this with this guy. Because I can't do everything, right? I can't strike, I can't grapple, I can't wrestle. And a lot of these guys, they can only fight one specific way. For me, I could, if I want to strike with you, I'll strike with you. If I want to grapple with you, I'll grapple with you. And I have the choice.
Belal Muhammad explained that his approach to fighting is centered on constant evolution and adaptability. Instead of forcing opponents to adjust to him, he focuses on improving after every fight by refining the small details and returning as a better version of himself each time. He highlighted his well-rounded skill set, striking, grappling, and wrestling, which allows him to craft a game plan tailored to each opponent. Unlike many fighters who depend on a single style, Belal emphasized that he has the ability to dictate where the fight takes place, whether it's standing or on the
With
ground.
Jack, he can only do one thing. He can only box. He can only strike. That's his only path to victory. Me, I think I'm going to go in there and outstrike him, and then for him, he's not going to have a plan B, and then that frustration is going to hurt him. That's where the inexperience is going to kick in, where he didn't have to go the long road I had to go through. He didn't have to go through 5-round fights. And then it's going to go to that point where he starts drowning and feeling like there's nothing else he could do.
Belal Muhammad pointed out that Jack Della Maddalena has only one clear path to victory, striking. He believes Jack relies solely on his boxing, while Belal can mix it up across all areas of MMA. Belal said his plan is to outstrike Jack and expose his lack of a backup strategy. He predicted that as the fight progresses and Jack realizes he has no plan B, frustration will set in, and that's when his inexperience will begin to show. Belal emphasized that, unlike Jack, he's been through 5-round wars and endured tough, grueling battles. Once the fight enters deep waters, he expects Jack to mentally crumble under the pressure.
Do you think he specifically earned this shot, or do you think he benefited from timing?
I mean, it's definitely timing, right? Because none of these guys earned a shot if you're comparing them to me. I had to fight 5 top 10 guys to even get the shot or even get even looked at. And I still had to weigh in as a backup to even get the opportunity. But I don't think a lot of these guys are not going to have to deal with that because they have a champion now that's willing to fight anybody. I mean, they don't have a champion that's like, oh, wait, let me see how many followers you have. Let me see all right, do they have a TikTok or not a TikTok, right? Like, I think that's what the older champions used to do. They would look, all right, what's the biggest name? For me, I'm like, what's the toughest fight? He's on a 17-fight win streak. Let's.
Lightweight contender Daniel Dariush acknowledged the skill set of welterweight champion Belal Muhammad, stating that Belal isn't getting the credit he truly deserves. According to Dariush, Belal holds a clear advantage in the grappling department and isn't far behind in striking either. He believes Belal can hold his own on the feet against Jack Della Maddalena and has the well-rounded tools to compete effectively wherever the fight goes.
Bro, Belal is so good. Like, you have to, I think people need to start recognizing his skill set. I think he has an advantage, big advantage, I would say, in the grappling. And he's not really behind in the striking. Like, I don't see like anything wrong where he would struggle too much with the striking. His striking is just fine. I think he would be able to stand in his own with JDM as long as he needs to.
The last man to defeat Jack Della Maddalena, eternal middleweight champion Darcy Vendy, weighed in on the matchup with Belal Muhammad and called it a toss-up. Vendy admitted that if Jack ends up on his back, things could get difficult, but if the fight stays standing, Belal may struggle to keep up. He believes the simpler and more achievable game plan is Jack stuffing takedowns rather than Belal successfully landing them. In the end, Vendy is backing his fellow Aussie to get the job done.
Taylor, you are the last guy to get your arm raised against him, and he's got an upcoming championship bout in the UFC. How do you think that goes? What's your prediction?
I think it could honestly go one way or the other. Like, I think if it ends up with Jack on his back, he's probably going to have a hard time. And I think if it stays standing, Belal's going to get what's given to him. But I think the easier to execute game plan is definitely Jack defending the takedowns. I think Belal has a tangibly harder time getting that job done than Jack ever will. I reckon Australia's going to have it.
I think so too, yes.